Now, as the old proverb goes, having fun isn't hard when you've got a library card. That stuck with me for a lot of years. I hear it whenever I get a new book or whenever I pretend to know how the Dewey Decimal System works. Now, when I got to college, my perspective of the library, like a lot of people, changed. It went from summers bleeding the shelves dry to spending hours on end studying under those oppressive fluorescent lights that look exactly the same at noon as they do at 3 a.m. But here in downtown Bloomington at the Monroe County Public Library, they're taking a different approach. They've got some new events aimed at students and young professionals that aim to put the fun back in phonics. I know it doesn't work, we'll fix it later. So why does that bring us here to Function Brewing here in downtown Bloomington? Let's hop inside and find out. Told you the puns were getting better. What are we doing here?
We're doing our program called Public Library. It's a play on words, so public library. And we're going to be playing board games. Game Preserve is providing here at Function Brewery, and we're going to have some beers and meet some new people and play some games. So it's part of a new slate of programs we're doing for people sort of ages 19 to 40, although people outside of those age ranges are more than welcome to come.
So there's lots of other programs. We have two different book groups where we meet in community locations. There is Books on Tap, which meets at bars, and it's just another book club, but it's in a different location. And we have Freshly Brewed Books, which meets at coffee shops, and we read only science fiction books. We have some one-off events. We have Nerd Night, which is coming up, which is basically like a TED Talk with nerdy subjects and a live band. We have the Podcraft Club, which is we listen to a new podcast every month and do an associated crafts. We do robotics programs. We do sort of anything that is interesting to people that they haven't really seen at the library before, and an opportunity to give people that may not see the library as a place for them, a place to engage and be social and learn new things. The library typically serves children and then teenagers leave and go to college, and they typically don't interact with the public library after they go to college, and they only come back to the public library after they have their own kids and start engaging in children's services again. So we wanted to create these different events out there that were interesting to people in our demographics and to help them sort of keep the library in mind, see it as a great place.
Our whole mission statement is community at the center, and bars for this age group can be at the center. It's part of our outreach.
I know some of these events, they have sort of like a pop culture spin to them, like Podcraft Club, Bad Movie Night. There's clearly some kind of love there for pop culture.
It comes from Erica and myself. Like, we're both interested in these things. Like, Podcraft program came because I loved my brother and me, and I wanted to talk about it and I wanted to share it with people. And I know like people I've met that I've talked to love that podcast as well. And so it just seemed like a great opportunity to marry those interests with a great service that we can provide.
I'm not gonna lie, part of it is stuff that I like to do and that I'm interested in and that my friends are interested in. And so we're very pop culture-y in what we're doing. And so we kind of wanted to play into that. And it's just trying to figure out what interests the age group and our patrons and how to sort of reach them and get them into the door. And they're just fun to do.
We've got some big events coming down the pipeline. We're going to do something about Frankenstein for the 200th anniversary, so Frankenfest.
A D&D bar crawl.
We're talking about doing a Fix-It Fair. We'll have a slew of community groups that are all experts in fixing bicycles, skateboards, musical instruments, clothing.
We're going to be doing a bad art night in the fall with the back door, where we bring sort of leftover art supplies and try to create the worst possible piece of art you can for prizes.
But we want to serve the entire community because the entire community is supporting us and making it possible for us to do these things. So the idea is that we want to serve everyone we possibly can, and sometimes it's easier for us to come to you, and that's a great way for us to get more input from the community so we can do bigger and better things to support them and engage them and make them feel like the library is, reflecting them and their needs. If your library is not doing something like this, talk to your librarian. We are always interested in new ideas, and new things to do. If you talk to a librarian and you find a librarian that does programming, they're going to be interested in doing something like this.
So if you're in the Bloomington area, you can stop by the Monroe County Public Library and see what they're about. Or if not, stop by your own local library and find out what they're doing. Or better yet, start something yourself. Find what you're passionate about, find out what you want to learn, and get something started. For Indiana Public Media and Digital 1229, I'm Peyton Knobloch.